there are other things besides food or drinking, consumption, I'll put in this whole category over here, that can actually help you to actually calm down and lower your stress level in a minute, and it doesn't have to be a food.
Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize every body 50, 60, 70, and above.
I have my eating plan. I know what I'm supposed to do, and yet I find I can't keep myself to it. I keep falling off it. So I know what I need to do. I just got to get myself to do it. How many times have you heard yourself say that? And how many times you say it over and over again, hoping that somehow magically just knowing what you're supposed to do is going to lead to you actually doing it this time. Hi everybody, if this is you, then you are in the right place. My name is Judy Terrell and I am a nationally board certified health coach. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology where I specialize in the behavior of addiction, and I've been in the fitness, weight loss, nutrition, and health field for over 42 years. And I'm 61 years old myself, and I've specialized in over 50 for the last 10 years also. But what I'm addressing here really affects all ages. And I'm addressing what are the top 6 patterns that lead my clients that I work with individually to fall off their plan over and over again. And there are patterns to this. There's the 6 that I'm addressing. And I'm now putting them out so you can watch this, see if you identify with this particular pattern, and then I'm giving you the specific tool for that specific pattern so that when you're done with the video, you've got something that you can actually go out and start to apply to get yourself to do the thing and stop doing what you're trying to not do, and then achieve successful weight loss. All right, so this is episode number 4, and what I'm talking about in this episode is specifically what I call stress or anxiety eating, okay? So let me define this, because it happens, this is probably one of the more prevalent ones. We are all running hot right now, is my way of describing this. What I mean is our brains are on overload 24/7. We have jobs that we're still going to. We have children or grandchildren that are in our care. We have elders that we have to care for in addition to that. Some of us are still in the workforce and we have prominent positions where we have a high amount of responsibility, and then we have to go home and we still have to care for people there. All right, we have our own health issues that as we get older, hence the over 50 population, you don't even trust your own body. There's things, aches and pains and, just symptoms that are popping up, and they're unfamiliar to you, and they're not desirable, and you have to manage them. Health issues, high blood pressure, you get pre-diabetes as a diagnosis, from your blood work and your annual, all sorts of things where we are exposed to the news 24/7 through our phones and devices. It's not like when 25 years ago, you only hear the news when you got home from work on the TV where there's only 4 stations and for half an hour. Now we're hearing about, the Gaza Strip and the Ukraine and, the political unrest and riots and just all sorts of things that are not positive and that are stimulating us. We're spinning in stress and anxiety. And that's that's removed from us. Then we have our work stress and the things that are in our own environment. And then we have our own internal body and the things that are going on with that. So we have multi-layers of stress producing, anxiety producing input constantly coming into our nervous system. All right. And this is one of the main, things that has changed in the last 10 years because of our technology. It's now even more prevalent. Even if you don't have a diagnosis of an anxiety disorder, we're just all stressed. We're running hot. People can't sleep because in the middle of the night, they wake up, their brains are spinning on stuff. It came up in their dreams, and now you can't get back to sleep because you're spilling cortisol, you're stressed, and we're anxious. And that is becoming the new norm. But why I'm bringing that up in this video is that because of that, we're all in fight or flight all the time. And so many times, they know the right eating plan for them. They know they're supposed to eat fruits and vegetables and, lean meats and healthy fats. And yet they fall into eating off their plan because the eating is a tool to lower, it numbs you. It actually, in your brain, it works the same way the opioid medications do. It works the same way, various illicit drugs work. It calms us down for the moment. But So they're having a positive effect in terms of the stress and anxiety management, but then if you're using those too much, obviously it's going to have negative effects on your weight and then therefore your health, because if you're gaining weight, you're gaining fat, then you've got inflammation, and then inflammation is the precursor to all our chronic illnesses: blood pressure, stroke, dementia, I can go on and on and on, diabetes, arthritis, autoimmune diseases. So using food as a method to successfully manage, at least episodically, our stress and anxiety, it's effective for that. But in using it too much, it has all these negatives that then compound on themselves, and then that is a reason why we can't be doing this with the food all the time. But what people don't understand, I'll ask my clients when they come in my office, well, what are you getting from eating like that? They're like, I'm getting nothing. I'm getting stressed, I'm overweight. And I'm like, and that's what they're blocked from seeing, is that no, they are getting something. They're getting that temporary, like dopamine, oxytocin, feel-good endorphin chemicals in our brain that then chill us out. Your Second 50 Life is my virtual platform that is designed for both men and women over 50 and 60, 70, and 80. And it includes pre-recorded video information on exercise and how to do it, whether you're fit and in good health, or if you have bad knees, bad shoulders, a bad back, whatever. It includes information on how to eat for weight management and how to eat for health management. It includes information on the psychology of aging and what do we need to do in our heads, because let's face it, this aging thing is not for the faint of heart. So your Second 50 Life is a virtual platform of resources that you can access at your own leisure, but it also includes 2 times a month live video coaching with me, so that you can bring your own individual questions and get individual coaching, as well as have access to all the information on the pre-recorded videos. So please check it out, because we're all in this together and we got this. Okay, the food does do that, especially this hedonistic food. And, if you go back to my video number 3, you'll see what I'm talking about with that. But food will numb you out. Okay, so it's serving a purpose. And that's why people are like, I know what I need to do, but I can't get myself to stop doing it. If you are stress and anxiety eating, you're never going to get yourself to stop doing that if that is your number one go-to for managing the stress and anxiety. Okay, so now we get to, what do I need to do about this so I can use this less often? And in order for that to happen, you have to have other tools in your toolbox for decreasing anxiety and stress on a day-to-day basis. Okay, because that's the thing about the food. It's available 24/7, so it can do the job, and you don't have to work to get it. It's always there. So someone will say to me, well, I can get a massage, I can, go on vacation, I can go down to the beach, but if it's 10 o'clock at night, you've had a massively packed day, you're revved up in fight or flight, you can't make a massage appointment. That's not going to work, on the moment by moment daily needs that we need to manage ourselves from stress and anxiety. So now, let me give you some suggestions. You have to do a little bit of thinking about this, because replacements they don't come easily. It takes some sleuthing. It takes some brainstorming. Some things work for some people, some things don't work for other people that did work for somebody else. But let me give you some ideas from the clients I work with for what can be replacements. Okay, so the food, it not only does it have a chemical, hormonal effect on your brain to chill you out, it also takes your mind off. When you're eating, it's hand to mouth. You got the sensation of taste going into your mouth, the active chewing. It's very mesmerizing. So it's got this kind of meditative aspect to it. All right, so we need to get a similar type thing where something you can do that takes your mind off, whatever else is going on for you, and can down regulate your nervous system out of fight or flight into more of a relaxed, parasympathetic dominant. All right, so some things that clients have found, they buy adult coloring books and they keep them on the chair next to where they sit when they're watching TV, and then, stress eating to chill out as they're watching TV. So adult coloring books. How does that, now it's available 24/7. It's very low energy as long as you bought them and got them on your, table stand. And now you get into the coloring, and again, you're paying attention to that. You're staying within the lines. You're picking the colors. It is now taking your mind off this fight or flight stuff that you may or may not be fully conscious of, and it's giving you this like reprieve from that, and then thereby being stress reducing, anxiety reducing. Another one is queuing up on YouTube or another streaming service comedy skits. Like I happen to like George Carlin, and I have on YouTube, I've queued up his channel. And so if I'm stressed and I know I'm susceptible to using food to calm myself down, I'm going to, on my phone or on my computer, whatever, I'm going to queue up one of them. And for 5 minutes, it doesn't have to be a whole half an hour or hour show. 5 minutes, a couple good belly laughs, that is producing like calming down, feel good neurotransmitters and chemicals in our brains. And it gives me, I'm paying attention to what he's saying. I'm not thinking about, other things that are stressing me out in my daily life, my endless have-to-do list and all responsibilities. I'm paying attention to that. 5 minutes. So those are both examples of things that are available to you 24/7 that and that's the key. These things have to be as readily available as the food is to stand a fighting chance to be able to get you to do that, but they also have to have the same effect. They actually do release the feel-good chemicals, and then they get your attention so that you are calming, you're not paying attention to all the stress and anxiety thoughts that are in your brain or in the back of your brain that you're not even fully conscious of, all right? So you get the idea. So what I tell clients to do is, like, sometimes ideas don't come easily. It took me, that comedy one is one that I use. It took me like a year to come up with that, and it wasn't even available like 10 years ago before the internet is what it is, So I invite you to be thinking about what are things that actually do for you, calm you down, that are available, readily available. You get the idea from the examples I gave, that you can start to have an inventory of, even just one or two, because until you do that and think about it and give yourself like a week or two to brainstorm on that, ask other people what they might do. You just got 2 from me in this video. And just be open to, there are other things besides food or drinking, consumption, I'll put in this whole category over here, that can actually help you to actually calm down and lower your stress level in a minute. And it doesn't have to be a food, all right? But you have to think about this, and you have to do some sleuthing, because that food has been so habitualized into your pattern of behavior that it crowds out the awareness of anything else. All right. I want to add a couple more to this list over here, which a lot of people say, oh, I shouldn't do that, right? But like, I have people who like the game playing on their phones. Now, if that is becoming a problem and it's interrupting your ability to do your work and all that I'm not going to suggest you do that. But for many people, like playing Wordle or these different video games, you can access that 24/7 on your phone. If you put a time frame on it, okay, I'm going to play it for 10 minutes, after dinner, when I would be susceptible to eating, to calm myself down and just entertain myself and de-stress myself, that might be the right time to put in like 15 minutes of playing like a video game, okay, on your phone. So, that's another example. And I know it kind of has the skull and crossbones, and even just watching TV, like a streaming service series, one episode, it's like, I know I should be watching TV, but if it's going to be something that engages you and you can take your mind off your stress, and it does have that lowering of stress, and you're not binge watching and now interrupting your sleep, then that could be another one that's in your list over here that can replace food, because they work. They actually do take your attention off the stressors in your brain and then lower that down so that you can, get the effect without the weight gain and without the calories. All right, everybody, this is episode number 4. I have 2 more tips. All right, so pay attention, stay tuned for those. Go back and watch the other ones if you haven't. And we got this, eating, off my plan thing. Stay tuned, everybody.
And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.